Hello guys and welcome back to the Vanilla series. Now you might notice that we are in creative mode for now, and the reason for this is because before we start building our castle, we're going to have to go over a few basic principles. It's always good to at least have a baseline, an idea of what you're going to do to make things go more or less smoothly. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is circles in Minecraft. I have built a little demonstration area over here. So you've got this one. It's pretty basic. It just it works. You can this is basically the smallest thing that you can make that might resemble a circular shape. It's basically a square without the corners. Now, one level up from this one, you got this type of thing. Although you could make it like this, this is a square, right? I mean, it doesn't even give you the illusion of not being a square, it's just a square without the corners. So, from this, you would probably upgrade to something along these lines. It might also work with 5-block lines over here. So basically these are 3 blocks, this one has 5, and it could work for a bit of a bigger circle of that kind. Now, if you have one thing that you can put on castle walls is arrow slits, or basically what amounts to windows. So if we come over here, whoops, something like this, whoops. This is something that will basically just make your castle walls look a bit better. I mean, it just works. Over here you can also do it, but because you have 5 wide walls, you can have 2 of those on either side. And that would make a decent wall. It's not super circular, it's not super big. If you're going for economy of materials, you could do something like this. So let me just undo all of this. Now, you can increase the size of these circles. You've got this one, which is the one that we're going to end up using. Although, my go-to circle is this one. So you've got the extremities are 5 blocks, then you have 2, 1, then 2 like this, then 5, 2, 1, 2, 5, and so on and so forth. This is, in my opinion, the basic circle in Minecraft. Now, if we were to make our towers with this circle, they would be huge. This thing would make for huge towers. And one of the things you want to make when you're making a castle is you want to make sure that things look at least semi-realistic. So you won't just basically pillar up a tower, you want the base to be larger than the body. So I chose this one. So if we're going to use a circle like this as the basis, hi guy, as the basis for our tower, we're going to need a base that will basically converge into this shape. So I went ahead and I drew this circle that we're hovering above in cobblestone, see, like this, and I then made a shape around it that we can then use to go to basically make the building converge. So we would then go along this shape with stairs to make it converge, and this is why you don't have disconnected blocks, by which I mean blocks like this where you don't have a block on either side to allow stairs to go on top. So this kind of shape surrounding the circle that we do want will let you put stairs all around it to make the building converge. And so, just one second. Is it daytime? Whatever. And so, it would then look like this. So we basically have a base that's a little bit larger. I only made it 2 blocks high, but we will probably make it 4 blocks. So when we go to build this in the server, it'll have 4 blocks like this, and then converge into the rest of the tower, which I don't know how high it'll be yet. Because most of my building is freehand, I just have some basic ideas that I go into it. I just have some basic ideas in my brain, right? And then I just work it out. So if we were to use this kind of thing, we would then have this shape at the top, which is the shape of that circle that I said we would use. So the corners are made with these 2 like this, 4 I guess. And so this is how it would look as a base, although we're gonna make it a little bit taller. The base is gonna be a little bit taller, so that our tower can also be a little bit taller. Now from the inside, this is how it'll look after you're done building it. I've already put down some stairs here, because one interesting thing about this design is that, so the outer part just looks like this, but you can actually just put a couple blocks in the corners like this, and this allows you to do something else, which is this. So basically, you can have something that looks like pillars in the corners, and then stairs going along these sides, which will give you the illusion of the building being supported. So I think that looks pretty decent to me, and I think that that would work. Another advantage of this size is that you can have a center pillar. So you could have something, let's see, is that the center block? It is. So you could have something like this. You could have basically an elevator coming up about this size, and the room is still, you know, more or less roomy. You do still have space to move around, everything's fine. You could make it a little bit larger by putting the corners in, like so. And I mean, I think it still works. If you don't like the corners to be that big, you could use walls. So, wait. Cobblestone, andesite, stone brick. So you could have the corners of this inner thing, like so, using walls. That would give it a rounder sort of shape, and it wouldn't be as bulky as if you were making the corners with outright blocks. Now, this inner part of this center pillar, you could use for a myriad of things. You can use it to transport a redstone signal, basically like with torches going up, or you could just have water and make it be an elevator where you step in and woo, off you go. So I think that's what we are going to use. I don't think there was much that I was gonna still talk about. Basically, I have some other circles over here. So this is basically what I was talking about, only as you can see, the outer circle has a 5 block wide radius here, and then the blocks, I placed them on the inside, the ones that go around. So instead of going like that, they go along the inside. What this does is that when you reduce the size of the wall by putting stairs, you then only get walls like this, where they're only 3 blocks thick, which will only let you do a window right across the middle. Now that could work. It'll be a little bit smaller than what we did over there, but I think that the size that I chose is basically the happy medium. So you got these circles. After you've started doing circles in Minecraft, you'll just get a hang of, you'll just get a knack for pulling this kind of stuff. But anyway, feel free to pause the video at any time if you don't know how to do circles, or if you want to use some of these circles for some of your stuff. This is the basic of what I use to make circular shapes in Minecraft. So bear in mind, we're going to be doing some really big towers, like so. So another thing we're going to do, I'm not going to go too in depth with this one, but we're going to have a kind of gate that works like this. So this isn't a design of mine. I didn't create this, I didn't imagine this. This is, I believe, a mumbo jumbo design, where you basically press a button and it comes down. You press the button again, it goes up. It uses sands and double piston extenders. Now that we got all of that out of the way, let's log into the server and see what we can do. Okay, so one thing to consider is that I am going to be digging out this chunk. And I want the entrance to the mines, which will be roughly in the middle of this chunk, and possibly will come over here a little bit. I want it to already be in the courtyard, or at least the beginning of the courtyard. So our towers will have to be somewhere around here. This would be the entrance to the courtyard that will then lead to the main keep. So, not quite sure how we're going to do this yet. So the only way to do it is to just do it. So I'm gonna put down my stone shulkers that I've conveniently color-coded and named. And we're going to take some stone, some bricks. And let's try to outline something here. So, let's see. Mobs are gonna start spawning out here, which is definitely not what we want. Why can't I place a torch over there? That's okay. Let's just light up, at least in this chunk, so we're not running into too many problems. And here come problems. Yep, yep. Oh boy. Yeah, no, please. Okay. Oh, geez. Freaking cheating zombie. Had anti-knockback. There we go. Okay. So we fixed that. And so, let's erase this. Dude, you guys are being a pain. I'm trying to fix things here. Oh, God. They're freaking hoarding. Got the old zombie hordes. Oh boy. Is this what nighttime's gonna be like? Guys, come on. I'm trying to fix stuff. Oh, Jesus. Dude, oh, come on. Oh gosh. Yeah, I've pretty much screwed myself at this point. Ow. Hey. No. No. Oh god, now I'm on fire. Guys, you're terrible. You're screwing up my mojo here. My mojo. Oh gosh. Okay. So then, this is our middle here. So let's see. I'm going to build up this thing up to where we want. So we want it to be 4 blocks high. So like so. And then it's going to have stairs, making it go inward. So we're just going to put those right there. That's good. So that's how it's going to look later. And so now we want right in the middle of this, which is this block. It's actually going to come up, so like so, and there will be there. And so then we want a space of 5 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there we go. And we're going to have this come up. So we're probably going to raise this floor level over here. So let's just do that. And so let's see. The wall would go 1, 2, 3, and then maybe like that, and like that, and like that. Yep, I think that'll work. So now we'll have to tear down this wall. Oh boy. Go away. No. Your demolition services are not needed. I am perfectly capable of handling all of this myself. I thank you for your attention, but yeah. I'm not in the market for demolition services. There we are. That's going to work fine. And so we'll have pistons in these 2 rows, sand over there. Yep. This is how it's going to start, basically. And so now we can make our gates. Alright, now that I've made a whole bunch of redstone components, we can get started on making this thing actually work. So, I'm gonna get down here. Our first line of pistons have to be sticky pistons. And I think this is the only line that actually needs sticky pistons. And the reason for that is that we want them to retract after they've pushed our gate upwards. We're gonna need repeaters in a line like so. We're going to need redstone behind these repeaters, obviously. Now, we're going to have a line of regular old pistons, like so. And we're gonna need 1 observer block to look at this redstone. Like that. Now we're going to need some blocks. I'll just use stone bricks because I've got a whole lot of them. And so this line of redstone repeaters, whoopsie, is what's going to make the second ones extend as well. And so we need to connect them all up to this observer with redstone. And so I'm pretty sure that this is all you need. Okay, relax. Relax there. And so we're going to have to... We're going to have something power this redstone line. Oh, boy. Whatever. I'll just use the old bricks. So, let me see. If I put a torch over here, it doesn't power anything. But if we then put a block on it, everything goes a little bit crazy. Does this not... Okay, so maybe the torch can't be on the block. It needs to be like this, maybe? Okay, perfect. And it comes back down. Okay, well, let's just do it, because I do know that this will work. Just don't ask me how. So, we can troubleshoot it later. That's always the perfect time to troubleshoot things. It's later. We're going to bring our redstone dust like so. Put a sticky piston over here on this redstone dust, like that. It's going to spit out its block on top of the torch, and then that will power this whole thing, and hopefully this will make it work. So let's see it in action. But so that repeater needs 4, right? Did I do this right? Is this what I want? Wait, what? Okay, let's try it again. Okay. And so nothing happens now, which is the cycle where everything gets pushed down from the top. Okay. I think things are working at this point in time. Now my question is, can I bring this upward? I can indeed. Let's just still check that everything is working, so nothing should happen now, right? Yep, there we go. And so now, there we are. So, let's just test it with some gravel, because we do need blocks that are affected by gravity to have this work. So, it should push both of these blocks up, right up to here. Right. Okay, that seems to work to me. And so nothing happens now. And there we go. So, when that is activated, the circuit at the top should be deactivated, I believe. Okay, so I figured everything out. So basically, when we press this button, or any button connected to this redstone line, It will power the piston that's under this block, which will raise up this block, which causes this repeater to fire a 1-tick pulse, which will make this piston spit out its block onto this torch. Let's reset everything. Okay, there we go. You see there's a piston under there. It'll make this piston spit out its block, which will cover this torch. This block then becomes powered, powering this redstone line, which will make the piston that's under this thing fire a 1-tick pulse over here, which is going to get carried over by this observer, and will make these two pistons do a double extension of this gravel, which will push up the blocks that we'll have above it. Now, this block over this torch will, as I said, will power this redstone line, which will mean that this line over here will be powered going into this block. And so that's how we're going to carry the signal upwards. We have this torch over here, which is lit at this point. When this gets powered, this block will get powered, which means this torch will turn off, and that one will turn on. So let's check that everything is happening as we want it to. So from here we can see it all. There we go. So those torches switched. Now the top one is lit. Now the top one is off. And that is how we're going to carry the signal upward, because the line of this second tower will go like this, so you won't be able to see it. This is the floor level. Basically the floor level is where this dirt is, so you won't actually see any of this. And then we can have two blocks like so, which will hide the signal coming up this corner of the tower. I guess this corner of the tower will just look a little different if you're in here, but that's okay. And so this is how the signal will travel upwards. So now, before we do that, I'm just going to leave this uncovered like so. Before we do that, we're going to have to place our gate. And so I want some spruce fencing. Some dark oak fencing would look pretty good, but I don't have dark oak. So spruce is going to have to do. The pistons will be right on this line. So this will be a piston, this will be a piston, and so we need a temporary line of blocks over here to place our pistons. So let's get our pistons out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we are. That's how our pistons are going to work. And then we'll have to figure out something to make at the top to cover this whole thing up. So let's see. We're going to need, because these pistons won't actually move, so we're going to need a line like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. All right. We're gonna need our observer looking upwards. So let's see, how can I... Okay, we're going to need some more stone to be able to place this properly. This involves a lot of scaffolding, so there we go. Because these pistons have to fire before the ones underneath, right? You're all with me on this, right? There we go. We pick up all this stuff. We're going to have our repeaters like so. Our redstone dust like so, which is going to get activated by... well, no. We still have to make the activation. And so then this thing, right, well, is that an extra block over there? I think it is, but let's come over here. It was 2 extra blocks, so this will be a line of repeaters right here, like so. And now we place our redstone to connect all of this up. That. Maybe I should have... oh, I still can. Okay. There we go. So that should be it. So now let's see how we're going to connect up this whole circuit to this torch. And so maybe like this. And I'm gonna put 4 ticks on it just because I'm not sure how this would work. But so this should be connected, right? And now I'm wondering, because it's gonna have to push that one piston, if we're actually going to have to remove one of these things. Let's see what happens, right? Okay, so that pushes those. So this should push these up. Okay. And so now again. Okay. I think we might have just done it. So, let's place the rest of these. Okay, so when I press this button once, all of this should get pushed up 2 blocks. And then when I press the button again, all of it should be pressed back down. Boom, boom. Okay, I like it. And so now... Perfect! We have made our gate for our castle. And so now all we need to do is complete these towers and work out a way for it to look pretty. And so there we go. This will be the entrance to our courtyard. So that wall I'll also tear away and join it up here. And I'm considering just culling the sheep, because honestly it's a lot of trouble. So basically this is how our town will look. The town's got a pretty flimsy wall, but you can already see that the wall to our castle will be significantly less flimsy. You can still see the bare bones of the redstone contraption that's gonna pull our gate up and down, and that's pretty much it. Looks good to me. I'm just going to come over here to do this one more time. All of this will have to be covered up, including that little circuit up there. We'll figure it out later. Let's look at it. Yep, looks good to me. Well, it's the beginning of something good, guys. Stick around and we'll do great things together. I'll catch you next time.